Hi guys, it's Kassidy, and today we're gonna be making a 3-bean chili. It's a super easy recipe. Anyone can make it at home. Today we're gonna be pairing this chili with our caliber. It's gonna be our 2016 caliber, so it's Malbec heavy. This will just pair very nicely with the beans and the tomato and the acid from the tomato. So if you have some 16 caliber, it'd make a great pairing with this. This chili doesn't have any meat in it, so it's really good for vegetarian, but it's also very versatile. So if you like meat, you'll love this too. But you can always add meat if you have to have meat, but this is beautiful on its own. All right, so for this recipe, you don't need too much. Most of the stuff you'll probably have at home besides the fresh veggies. The first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna start chopping our vegetables. We don't need to chop our tomato or green onions yet because that's just gonna be a topping. So right now we're just gonna chop garlic, onions, peppers, and the jalapeno pepper. We're just gonna do nice small pieces, not too small. We are gonna put them in the pan. Really, you don't want them just too big because you're gonna be getting those bites in the chili. So you'd rather just have little bites and not just like a big little hunk of pepper. For the jalapeno, you're gonna wanna seed it unless you like spicy. Like I love spicy, so I don't mind the seeds being in it because that's what has all the spice. So in mine, I'm gonna keep the seeds in. If you don't like spicy, you can totally take the seeds out. So now we're gonna chop up the garlic. So you're gonna need 4 cloves, and these wanna be crushed and chopped. So we will be sauteing all of this, so if it's just all in a pile, no worries. It doesn't have to be super pretty. Always gotta take a break to drink wine. Medium onion. Yellow onions preferred, but if you like white or even red would be good. It's chili, so no rules. It's my favorite kind of recipes. Now I'm gonna have to go back to my original tip of drinking wine to get rid of the tears. It's great for heartbreak or if you're chopping onions. Gets rid of all the tears. So now that we've cut all of our vegetables, we are gonna saute them. So you can either saute them in the pot, or I'm just gonna do the pan because it's a little bit easier for me to saute everything. So you can totally do that. You're gonna wanna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the pot first. So that's what I'm gonna do. 2 tablespoons, which rule of thumb is normally 2 swirls around the pot. Let that get going, and then once that heats up a little bit, we'll throw in our vegetables. So we are gonna put our vegetables in there and we're gonna let them saute for about 5 to 6 minutes, get all soft and translucent, and once they smell very nice, then you know they're ready. All right, we're gonna let that saute, but we're gonna finish sauteing it in this pot, the chili pot, so just a nice big pot. So I'm just gonna take that off real quick, put this one on, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil just so that this one can start. Pour, transfer it on over. So we are gonna let that continue to saute for a little bit longer. And then the next step calls for us deglazing the pot. So it said you can use a light beer or vegetable stock. But we have wine, which is way better, so we're gonna use our 2016 caliber to deglaze it once this is done. So you can of course use vegetable stock if you prefer, but I highly recommend the 16 caliber because that's just gonna take your dish to the next level. About a cup, a little bit more, never hurt anyone. It's perfectly deglazed now. Caliber does a great job. So the next we're gonna add our kidney beans, black beans, and then our crushed tomatoes. We'll add the black beans. Just 1 can will do the trick. And then the kidney beans. I'm gonna give that a little stir. And then we're gonna add our tomatoes. So just crushed tomatoes. Give it a nice little stir. So now we're gonna add our seasonings. So the first one we're gonna add is the ground cumin, about a tablespoon. And then we're gonna do the chili powder. Remember, I'm doing the chipotle chili powder because I love that flavor. You're gonna do about 2 tablespoons. And then a couple pinches of coarse salt, which you'll also can top it with too, just to give it a little bit more taste. And then we're gonna do a couple little drops of the cayenne pepper. So it's gonna be a little bit spicy, but I love spice, so. Calls for about a tablespoon, so you can do as much or as little because this is just gonna give it that cayenne taste, hot sauce. So then after we put in the spices, we are gonna put in the refried beans just to thicken it up a little bit. So I got the vegetarian type, but you can get whatever type you would like, whether it's spicy, vegetarian, non-vegetarian. It's all about preference really for this recipe. Now put this down to low heat and just kind of let it do its thing for about 10 minutes. So while this, and we're just gonna stir it a little bit more. And while this is simmering and just kind of finishing off, we are gonna start cutting our scallions. I have the tortilla chips, so the blue tortilla chips, but if you like corn chips more, or even like cornbread with your chili, feel free, whatever. Sour cream, because I love sour cream, but you don't need to. And then we're gonna start by grating the spicy pepper jack cheese. And then we're gonna slice some tomatoes. And now some green onions to top it with. So I like both the whites and the greens, so again, preference in this. So now that we have all of our toppings ready, and it's been about 10 minutes and the chili's been able to simmer and thicken, we're gonna plate it. So let me grab the chili and start plating. All right, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some cheese in it, just kind of all around, because I love when it melts and you get a nice bite of chili and cheese. You can also use the chips, like if you just wanna dip it. And there we have it, our simple 3-bean chili recipe and paired with 2016 caliber. This meal is super easy and can't be beat. All right, so tasting it. I'm just gonna get a little bit of everything, the tomatoes, the green onions, the sour cream. Super easy, super delicious, and it pairs so well with caliber. So I hope you guys all try this at home.